I want to talk a bit about the anxiety crisis, the anxiety epidemic that seems to be sweeping not just England, but the Western world really, a westernised world. And it's in the paper. Grylls has come out saying that young people are not being trained by our educational system to handle challenge, and he really thinks that the whole system is broken in that sense. I'd like to totally agree with him. Good on you, Bear. Keep going with your adventure centre and drawing people out to face challenges, to know how to handle setbacks. And that's what people are not being faced up with in their schooling, and that's where emotional logic is now getting into schools to equip people, not just to get motivated to push on through challenges, but to say, when I face a setback or a disappointment, I've got something to learn here, and you need to face the unpleasant emotions of disappointment, setback, the losses that come with all of that can bring a sense of shame, personal emptiness, doubt, self-doubt. Well, emotional logic teaches people how to harness that emotional energy, not into self-criticism, but into a review of how they can learn. Emotional logic enhances your learning skills and your learning energy, not just for academic work, but for all of life's challenges. And that's why it works to harness anxiety, which is all part of good grief. Your grief is there for a reason. It's not just anxiety that's got the epidemic. There's also an epidemic of anger. There's an epidemic of shame amongst people. There's an epidemic of depressive emptiness, of people hiding themselves away. They're all part of the grieving process. The whole grieving process, unpleasant as it is inbuilt genetically to us as part of our survival mechanisms. It's to help us adapt. And when we understand that, we can harness that emotional energy and bring our reasoning into partnership with it, and then learn how to move our life forward, how to develop extra skills. So people talk about trauma a lot, how traumatizing life is. And there's a lot of talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, which is very, very real. We're very serious ourselves about that. But there's an equivalent movement now looking at post-traumatic growth. Because people have realised that 30 to 70% of people who go through traumatising incidents with disappointments, setbacks, hurts, you name it, worse things happen as well. 30 to 70% of people come through stronger. They learn something to build their strength inside, their inner strength. That's what emotional logic does. When you understand how those unpleasant emotions connect together to make a single, integrated, healthy adjustment process that is not shameful, but is actually part of your resources to adapt and move on and build adaptable and strong relationships, so that together we face change and we actually support each other. We bring synergy into our responses. We're not alone. And this is part of the whole message of grief emotions. They're there to move us to reconnect with others, to explore together how you can face the new challenges that come up and move on and really preserve life, but enrich it, to thrive together. That's where we're going. So yes, there is an anxiety epidemic. Well done, Bear Grylls. I really support you in what you're doing. Get the message out there, but bring it with emotional logic. There's really cheap resources on the internet. Emotional Logic Centre. Just search it on whatever your search engine is, and you'll find there in the resources section £10 online introductory course, and then follow it up with a book club where you meet together and read and discuss. You can do that in schools, you can do that in homes, you can do that in community groups, but read and discuss, having looked at that online introductory course. It's only £10, and there's an enormous amount of information there, and an online tool site to record your emotions. This is what you need in order to build that inner strength, so that setbacks and disappointments get turned into growth and don't get bottled up as anxiety or depression or compulsive behaviours and so on. We can release that. We liberate people. Go for it.